and welcome. My name is Safa. This is my YouTube channel where I talk about tarot, spirituality, mysticism, sometimes gender and politics. Today I'm going to be doing a tarot reading for the new moon in Virgo coming up tomorrow on the 9th. I'm going to be using Tarot of the Spirit by some people. Pamela Eakins and Joyce Eakins. You'll see the cards. They're pretty cool. They seem like pretty cool people from how they design the cards and the descriptions of the cards. Of course, I'm going to be giving my own interpretation of them. They're very kind of surrealist, a little bit abstract. So quickly, I like to talk about the archetype of, what sign the moon is in. And I was reflecting on Virgo. Before this reading, I got an image, though, of butterflies. It's a pretty common vision for me. But I think in the context of Virgo, that we're focusing on the refinement piece right now. And before butterflies take off and fly, they kind of have to bleed out. It's like a really gross kind of process to watch. But yeah, their wings are full of blood and they have to pump it all out. And that's kind of like emotions. It's like an emotional process. I've been doing so much emotional processing since the Pisces full moon. It's been crazy. All of those moons and astrological events. Saturn going direct definitely feels like a big shift for me. But yeah, there's lots and lots of other things going on. I encourage everybody to watch astrology videos before looking at my readings, because I'm going to be talking about what can we do with these energies, how can we alchemize them to their highest degree. But with the butterfly vision, I feel like it's time to fly right now. It's time to take off if you've been doing this refinement process. And of course, if you've been focused on other things, or perhaps maybe being a bit too worried or detail-oriented, or the other shadow aspects of Virgo, kind of focusing on maybe like minutia. Like I know I do that sometimes, or being either, having a hyper focus on my flaws. What I've been doing is I've been sending love to all parts of myself. The parts that I don't like, the parts that don't want to send love to those parts. That's just the exercise I've been doing, and I encourage others to do it because it makes you feel great. It makes you feel super charged up. And, if there's a shadow of Virgo, it's that Virgos are too critical of themselves. But, the highest octave is being super kind and giving and sweet and grounded. Chill. At its highest octave, I'm saying. Once they've kind of gotten over that micromanaging of themselves. So yeah, that would be pretty much what I have to say about that. But I'm gonna let the cards tell a story. Okay, so the first card that we get out right now is Four of Earth, which in this deck is power. So that's that kind of groundedness I was talking about, that stability. And during a new moon, we're planting seeds for what we want to see in our future, as well as letting things go, because the three cards that wanted to come out, all three of them Earth cards. No surprise there. But the next one would be the Nadir. So Five of Pentacles, that's kind of like your lowest low. And to me, I see this as what we are currently releasing right now. I've been releasing past timelines like crazy. This is about healing from this low point, come from the bottom, and now we're here. And now we're here. So the garden. That's the other thing I saw in my vision, was the butterflies flying towards this beautiful garden, kind of like the one I'm in right now. It's not really a garden, it's a park, but it's very Virgoan, And this is like the plentifulness of nature, and nature is perfection in itself. So anytime that you try to focus on that nadir or that awful, past self, or that part you're criticizing based on perhaps something that happened in the past, right now, just remember that you're a perfect part of nature, and that the goddess Virgo, that the goddess Prakana, that call on any earth goddess really, and she will be there for you. Pachamama will be there for you to take all of your stress. So, yeah, when in releasing the past and releasing that anxiety and releasing the sort of the tension that's been there, that pressure, I'm not saying that this is just gonna all of a sudden be easy, because that Four of Earth power, that still has an energy of tension around finances. It still has an energy of not quite being there yet. We're in the process of letting go of the past. We haven't really took flight. Like, Four of Earth energy isn't really flying kind of energy. It's still really like we haven't taken off yet. But preparing for takeoff, absolutely, absolutely. So I'm in agreement with a lot of the spiritual community that, wow, Jesus Christ, okay. This is nuts. So what is it that we need to do before we take off right here? So the great work. Something tells me that a new moon in Virgo and this coming out with the Emperor, this is about the great work. And for some people, I think this could mean being your own boss. Like, these two cards together, and for me, it definitely means that. And I think this is where a lot of us are going. With Uranus, the planet Uranus in Taurus, that's what everybody's been talking about, is sort of like, we really want to see people being their own boss in the future, right? We want to see this for our generation. We want to see this for everyone, really, but especially those who feel they've been kept down. But this is you, and this is the Aries full moon. This is the next cycle. It's saying prepare for the Aries full moon, because this is the higher octave of this. If you look at it in the original Rider-Waite, it's like this guy who's like the Four of Pentacles guy is like the Emperor, but he's like holding so tight onto everything that he has in fear and desperation. He has a level of stability, but he's just kind of like, like really scared of, the things that you've accumulated from, all the growth that you've done over the years, potentially growing from this. Like, it's important now to find, because like the Emperor also has the emotional stability of the King of Cups, and the generosity of the King of Cups. He has the willpower of the King of Wands. He has also the generosity of King of Pentacles, but also like looking down at his fortunes and that pride, that sense of pride that the King of Pentacles has. And of course, the clear-minded and logical thinking of the King of Swords. Be able to have that critical thinking process. And that's very Virgoan too, even though the Emperor represents Aries, which is like, these are the qualities needed to be your own boss. And that's one thing Aries actually kind of lacks sometimes, which is the shadow of the Emperor card, is lack of clarity in your thinking. So I've been getting like the download saying that a lot of our wounds are actually in the crown chakra. They're not necessarily in the root chakra anymore, or the sacral chakra anymore, depending on how much work that you've been doing. And I'm certain that there's still more work to be done, but a lot of it could just be in our minds that we're holding on to. If we've already been doing a ton of healing and we feel like we're not making the progress that we need to make, it's here. The healing needs to be done here. And how does that translate? Well, when you find a way to find calm in the mind, which I feel like a lot of Virgos need, is like calm in their mind. But for everybody in general, that's something that could be really, because the moon affects the mind, and the mind affects the emotions. So if you're getting in your head about something and you're overthinking it, look at what is happening in your surrounding, what's actually happening in your reality, and take a moment to sit with it. So yeah, this kind of came out too, which I think is really cool, because this is the card of Virgo right here, the Hermit. And what this card represents is going within. So I think that, well, it's true. I think a lot of Virgos that I know have a pretty internal process. We know some Virgos are very expressive, right? Like, take, for example, Freddie Mercury is a Virgo, Beyonce is a Virgo. So Virgo does have that ability to express. But I think that the inner thought process, if it's not cloudy, if it's not frantic, if it's not anxious, then it's that grounded and centered energy that I was talking about in the last, well, it wasn't the very last reading, but the reading before that was when the dust settles, we have this foundation. We're letting go of all the old crap. We have high hopes for the future, because 7 Earth, the garden, this is like flourishing, this is but it says the great work. So it's telling us our ideal lives take work. It's inner work, it's outer work. These two cards together could be, as above, so below. Because this is kind of more like an outward energy, and this is an inward energy. So it's taking the time to make an assessment of your thoughts right now. Like, is it really, because right here, it's bringing insight, babe. Inside, babe. Yeah. Okay. I'm feeling a little goofy right now. I hope that you can appreciate that, because here is a stream of love for you. Okay. Venus retrograde is going to be hella interesting, because she talks about, because she's Earth, she's kind of like this too, she's assessing where is the love for your work. Ooh, yeah, that's just like, I had to put 2 and 2 together with that. Where is the love for your work? Because 3s are about collaboration, man. And I've been getting that too, is like, we got to make connections and close the gap. So I think part of this mental stability is being able to have something to share, I mean, I'm not saying that that's the only reason we go within, and we don't have to share everything, but I think it's being able to make that discernment of where we can share. Now, I'm going to draw one last card to give you a final message for this new moon. Oh boy, what's coming out? Brother Wind. So this is Mercury in Virgo right here. And for me, this is kind of like, yeah, don't rush, basically. Don't be too outward with your thoughts. Think carefully, pause, find what is coming from this stream of love. Express that. Express insights that are loving and kind. you know, because there could be some stress coming too. I mean, just with all this shifting going on, there could be a lot of stress. There could be a lot of this crap coming up. So focus on that on your own. And if you want to get a personal reading with me, I'm going to leave my email in the description box. You can also follow me on Instagram, Safa Lori Tarot. Thank you for watching, and blessed be. Mwah.